How's it going?
Oh, it's going great. I can't complain. It's a beautiful day.
This morning it was kind of nasty out, but the sun came out.
Well, it was great for me because the reason why we have docket in the afternoon is because they had career day
Okay.
at almost elementary school.
Okay, cool.
And they're so I don't know why I'm raising my voice like I'm shocked by it all. But young children are so intelligent. It is always nice to see things through their eyes. My brother calls it new eyes. They have new eyes, so that's good.
You know, I remember when I first started practicing, they had courts in school. Do you remember that?
Yes.
I don't know why they don't do that anymore.
Well, I've had students, Deputy Lord, didn't we have about 50 high schoolers over here? 60 high schoolers. But I did do a tour with some young people and they were, I think, 4 or 5, over 100.
Wow.
But they were so well behaved, so I enjoyed it.
They're probably excited to see you, I'm sure.
All right, attorneys, we didn't have morning docket because I had to do a career, well, I didn't say have to do a career day, but I like doing the career day for the elementary children. Next time I have a career day, I'm taking a prosecutor and a defense attorney with me. So got my eyes on all of you. Please follow these rules and everything will run smoothly. If you have somebody in custody, ask the deputy to have them brought out. Once you requested them, please don't leave because for security reasons, we can only have a limited number of people in custody. If you have someone who wishes to speak in a language other than English, you'll need an interpreter. Let the coordinator know you need an interpreter. Once you've conferred with the state and conferred with your client, approach the clerk and just ask them to put your file up here. Please do not stare me down. I will call you in the order of appearance. If you are and you know what? I say that, Arlene, and people still stare me down. I'm like, stop mad dogging me. But anyway, if you have someone who's in the box and you're speaking with them, if we're on the record, that means I've called the style of the case. Do not talk behind the court reporter. Just raise your hand. I'll see you or the deputy will see you and they'll move you to the other end. Please do not approach the clerk or the coordinator when we're on the record because I'm trying to 100% focus on you and your client. All right, everyone, please confirm. Christian Chavez.
My case, Judge.
Yes.
We resolved the discovery. They uploaded the video. I guess a plea bargain deadline.
All right.
Or
And your client's in custody, correct?
This one's on bond. He's present.
All right, Christian Chavez, come forward. State on Christian Chavez, I need an acknowledgement of discovery. And state that you tender an offer.
They haven't yet, Judge. We were waiting for this to.
All right, state you need to tender an offer off docket. And counsel, you have contact information for the state?
I do, yeah.
All right, so Miss, how old are you?
32.
Okay, you say that as though you're unsure.
31 going on 32.
All right. Okay, now you're going all Sound of Music on me. All right, Norma, on this case, if you can give me a 30-day reset for a plea deadline date, please. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. They're going to give you a reset form. And what date, Norma?
1 second. I give you February 3rd.
All right.
Yeah, I'm sorry, March
3rd.
I'm looking at February date. Yeah, March.
All right, so you're going to be back on March 3rd. On that date, you'll need to let the court know whether or not you've reached an agreement. If you have not, your next date is going to be a jury trial date. And counsel, I know you have to be somewhere else. So if you'll make sure you get the acknowledgement of discovery. And if you'll have a seat and they'll bring the reset form to you. Thank you for addressing appropriately.
Judge, I'm going to try to confirm my other one.
Okay,
But I don't know if we resolved the discovery stuff, but I'll let you know
all
shortly.
right, thank you.
I just want to see. I'll get you.
Who's here on Luis Briceno? Hey, how's it going?
It's going.
All right, did you talk to Bashan about the Pittsburgh Steelers? I don't mean that.
I don't want to talk about it.
Well, I mean, sometimes you need people who understand.
That old stuff,
On the next.
like we're
On
past
the next.
that already, okay?
On the next.
But we're not. So excuse me, everyone, could I have your attention, please? Could the Cowboys fans,
Do it now. Okay.
Plug it out with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
No, it could be, that's way worse. It could always be worse. Like, that's way worse.
okay, here we go. At some point, I think the Cowboys and the Steelers, you should be able to come together over your losses. I mean, as a Saints fan, I'm here for you all.
We have 15 years on this.
Yeah.
We're not. I saw some graphic where it was like teams in the NFC that had made the
Okay.
NFC champion. It was
I'm
like,
just
you
telling
have
you-
it on the page, like.
I'm about to get held in contempt.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry Jones first, but then after that,
I
it's a
hear
bitter
you.
subject.
So on this one, there was an issue with discovery. Has that been taken care of?
It has not, and I checked it again, I checked it multiple times, and again this morning, and there's literally not a thing for me to download.
All right, who is the state on Luis Andres Briceno?
Sir, I don't know. So,
All right, so we were here on December with this case for discovery. And last time we were here, defense attorney said no discovery was uploaded. And there's still no discovery. Where is the discovery?
It's uploaded to Verific, Your Honor. I don't know why defense counsel can't ask and can't access it. I advise defense counsel to inquire with their DAIT office to see if they can resolve the issue. If they can't, to provide me with a USB drive, and I'll copy all of it to.
All right, are you able to provide him with a drive to copy the material?
I can't.
All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna recall this in 30 days for discovery and defense if you provide them with a drive, and also you can call and see why you can't see it on your end,
I'll
but
just give it a drive. I mean, it's not really bad.
all right, Norma, I need a 30-day reset for discovery. You may be excused. All right, we're gonna come back in March 3rd, and are you still in school? Well, what happened with your school?
I'm currently in recovery.
Okay.
It's in the patient program.
Okay, all right, well, that's good. Okay, and make sure if you still want to go to school, you can still get out and start back at school, okay?
Yes, Your Honor, I already received my 30-day trip.
All right, awesome. Okay, well, I have, if you need anything as far as reporting by Zoom, because I don't want to interfere with his recovery or interfere with him being in school. You can appear by Zoom. Will they let you appear by Zoom?
If it's all right with you, Your Honor, I'd like to appear in person.
That's fine.
I think it said in the letter that you're supposed to be discharged on like February 21st.
Yes, yes.
So you should be out by then.
Okay, all right, so we're gonna recall you back for discovery on March 3rd, and it's, sure, March 4th.
Calendar.
All right, could everyone please whisper? Norma, on this case, if you can set it for March 4th,
Yes, ma'am.
is March 4th good for you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so we're gonna bring you back on March 4th, and you're released from inpatient. Make sure that you stay vigilant about your sobriety, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you for addressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you'll be excused.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye. John Magallanez,
Council President, Judge.
all right. Come forward, please.
Moving better.
All right, and has the plea taken place in county court?
It hasn't, they haven't filed the case yet, Judge. This is, the case is located in Impact 13. We're waiting on the state to file the case so we can go ahead and plead that one out.
All right, when is that going to be done?
I spoke to them this morning. I'm the attorney of record on that case.
Yes.
March 21st, we're coming back. They're either gonna dismiss it or they're gonna file it so that we can take a plea on it.
All right. So this is going to be the last date for something to be done with this case. It's a possession less than a gram. State, if you can help facilitate the misdemeanor court doing whatever they're going to do with their case, so this won't be taken care of,
Yes, Judge.
that would be greatly appreciated. Ms. Ferguson, I need a 30-day reset.
I can do, March 4th.
All right, March 4th, and that's your final plea deadline date.
Our next hearing on the misdemeanor is on the 21st, March 21st. I guess we
What-
can, I'm sorry.
No need to apologize. I'm just trying to figure out, why does it take so long?
I think because they haven't spoken to the complaining witness. That's what they told me today. So I asked if they could file it or do something with it. And they told me they're going to look into it.
All right, I'm gonna help them look into it.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, this is gonna be recalled back on February 18th. Norma, it's coming back on February 18th.
Yes, ma'am.
So, state, please speak with the prosecutors in misdemeanor court and tell them this is coming back on February 18th.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes.
Appreciate
All
the
right,
court's
thank you.
time.
You're welcome. Thanks for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Craig Cantu. Who's here on Craig Cantu? Come down.
Morning, Judge, or
Morning.
afternoon.
So have you had a chance to confer with the state?
Yes, if we just, Monica just got appointed to the case 2 days ago, so the file's not here and we don't have any of the discovery yet.
State, why don't you have the file on Craig Cantu? This is family violence. The file on Craig Cantu, where is it?
I think it was an add-on to the docket, Your Honor, but the MAC appointed Monica, out of order like 2 days ago
No, yeah,
or yesterday.
oh, maybe Tuesday. It was one of the cases. that
2
you
days.
went back to come down and reappoint.
2 days.
So,
So we haven't had the chance to get any of the videos or do anything. Monica has a visit scheduled with Mr. Cantu for Sunday, so we're just hoping for a short reset to review the case.
recall this back on February 6th.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome.
You have a good afternoon.
You too.
Thank you.
Troy Mishler,
Present, Your Honor.
and is the prosecutor for this,
There
hi.
is a prosecutor that has the file.
Covering for 88 Samantha Brown.
Okay,
She's in jury.
all right, just one moment. All right, where are we on discovery?
Received a call yesterday from Ms. Brown saying that there's new discovery in this case and that I would need to file a protective order to get it.
Okay.
I conferred with her outside just a little bit ago, Judge, when she had a break from jury duty to get a description of what I'm supposed to ask a protective order for.
Mhm.
I now know that where I can specifically file a protective order. That's one thing. The second thing, Judge, there's a new indictment as of either yesterday or the day before in this case. It's not new allegations. It's just
a
a
re-indictment.
rearranging of counts and paragraphs, but I don't have it. I'd like to take a look at it before I report to the court about where we are on
Okay,
the
and when
case.
was the new induct?
Just a day or two ago, so it's brand new, and it's not changing the type of allegation, it's just making sure that the language was correct in the indictment, because there were some errors there.
All right, Norma, give me a reset for 30 days, and before this time, you'll need to have filed your motion for the protective order.
I will,
Okay,
absolutely, Judge.
We have those documents ready to give over.
all right, thank you.
I can do March 6th. Judge.
May I check my calendar,
Sure.
Judge, so that I don't have to whine to the court later on?
Sure.
March 6th. I'll be here, Judge.
All right, so we'll call it on March 6th. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Just have a seat and they'll bring the reset form to you. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so here's my question. Oh, you're excused. Just wait, he'll bring the reset form.
Thank you.
So here's my question for you.
Yes, ma'am.
I know that LSU, you can call that, it's really Notre Dame's fault. But Texas A&M,
Yes.
I'm trying to figure out Texas A&M, why didn't they?
It's a question as old as the hills, Judge.
Is it a tale as old as time?
Our return on investment is not great.
Ah,
We're hoping for better return on investment. We're looking forward to March Madness and the College World Series, Judge. We have the
Okay.
number one baseball team in America going into.
Well,
the
we're gonna see what,
preseason.
happens. Usually we're pretty good in baseball. We shall see.
Yes, and I have a,
There have been some complaints about gymnastics scoring, so I'm gonna have to see what that's about.
and I need to talk to you later about the great state of Louisiana,
All right.
because I have a high school senior that is very likely headed to Tulane.
Let me just tell you, we welcome everyone.
Even defense lawyers progeny. He's very excited. He was excited to get in and we're looking,
Oh, that is awesome. The Green Way.
the green wave. They're asking for a green wave of tuition money, but
Oh my
we're
God.
working on that too.
It just keeps going up. And you know, I have some people who were in college with me and they were saying, I remember when tuition was $30 an hour. I'm like, I would love to go back there.
I'll get this signed, Judge, after I do maybe excused.
Yes,
It's
thank
good to
you.
see you.
All right, excuse me. Who do we have here from the ROTC?
They're back there. Stand up.
Hi. So everyone, I always tell people, when you have visitors come to your house, and this is the legal world's house, we didn't have a chance to clean the baseboard, but we must be on our best behavior. So they're here to observe, to see how this legal system works. So please, when you see them, talk to them and tell them what you do. And thank you so much. Thank you. Yay. And Deputy Laura will show you certain things as well when she has a chance to, okay? All right, thank you all for coming down. Deputy Laura, you can have them come up front. Please see them. Hello. Hi, so what's your name?
Valeria.
And what's your name?
Jordan Bernardino.
Well, welcome to the 187th. You can always come in. So prosecutors are over here. They're usually the people who are sitting down, and there are prosecutors there. And the flower top sitting down, that's probation officer. And of course, the coordinator, Deputy Laura, and inmates. All right. So if you all would like, you can move about and just speak to some attorneys.
Okay.
Okay. So attorneys. So these are the two students who want to see how things run. So they're going to be moving about to speak to you. So please be kind and let them know whether or not this is a profession they should be in, which I'm sure all of you all will say yes. So don't be shy. You can move around and talk to the attorneys, okay?
Okay. Thank you so
You're
much.
welcome. Just let me get this stuff. Okay. Aisha Esparza. Oh yeah, just walk around.
Oh,
Yeah, grab an attorney.
no, you're okay.
Todd. Okay. Take care of the two students. Yes. Are you all ready to proceed?
We're not yet asking the court for a contested setting.
All right. Who's the prosecutor?
I was hearing with Megan.
Okay. Megan. All right, so they're requesting a contested hearing. All right, Ms. Ferguson. On this case, they're requesting a contested hearing. And if we could have 10 days.
10 days?
Yes.
Give me 1 second, Judge. Is she on board?
She's on.
Yes. All right, February 13th is going to be your contested hearing.
Thank you.
Ms. Abrams, their contested hearing is going to be February 13th. And if you all determine that you all don't want a contested hearing, you need to let probation know
Will do, Judge.
enough time. Okay. All right, once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Daniel Montoya. Who's here for Daniel Montoya? Mr. Montoya? All right, so last time you were locked out of discovery, then he wasn't transported, so we had
Yes.
a lot of things. So-
Because we weren't sure if he was released or not. He is released.
Okay,
It was released to lifetime recovery
okay,
and he is in a program there. And they are the ones who transported him to court.
all right, so where are we on discovery?
I believe I have everything. I've conferred with the state today. They have made an offer to us. We have not made a counter offer to them yet.
All right, Ms. Ferguson,
Yes,
if
ma'am.
you can reset this for 3 weeks for a plea deadline date, please.
Yes, ma'am. I can do the 20th, February 20th.
February 20th?
I think that's gonna be a good date.
All right, your plea deadline date is February 20th. On that date, you need to let the court know whether or not you reached an agreement with the state. If not, your next court date will be your trial date. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am, I understand.
Okay. All right, yes.
I wonder why is it so fast? I just got in county jail for 5 months and,
I know.
I don't keep cases on the docket that long. I try not to.
Okay. Okay, dear.
All right, thank you for dressing appropriately for court. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. Timothy Gonzales?
Everybody's talking right there. I can't hear anything.
Oh, I know, and I'm screaming at the top of my lungs. All right, so on this case, where are we on the discovery?
We're good.
All right, was an offer tender?
There was.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, set this for a plea deadline date in 3 weeks.
There's also a co-defendant on this case.
I'm sorry?
There's a co-defendant on this case.
Okay.
It's not set on the same date. I don't know what's.
Oh, we'll make sure it's set on the same day.
Yeah.
What date?
February 20th.
All right, February 20th.
She said that like she didn't know it wasn't serious.
All right, thank you so much for dressing appropriately for court. If you'll have a seat, your attorney will bring your reset form. Once you sign the reset form, you're excused. You're welcome. Alexander Streeter. Could we always have docket in the afternoon, then everybody shows?
It's just sort of surprising, so.
They were expecting lunch.
Maybe that's when we should move our docket.
That's what I'm wondering. All right. So is this a motion to revoke?
No, Judge, I think this is a motion for early termination.
Yes, Judge, we were here back in June of last year. And the court was considering the early termination, and the court indicated that we should come back today and that you would strongly consider terminating him. I know the state is opposed, but I know probation is recommending it.
All right, I'll take evidence and we can go on the record. All right, court is calling 2020 CR 1544, State of Texas versus Alexander Bryant Streeter. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Jason Garahan, Your Honor.
Defense?
Judith Wimmer.
And are you Mr. Streeter?
I am, Your Honor.
All right, this is a request for early termination by the defense. Defense, you may proceed.
Thank you, Judge. We'd like to call probation, please.
All right.
Okay.
All right, have you conferred with probation before calling them?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Probation, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, you can lower your hand if you'll state your name for the record.
Bashan Abrams.
All right, defense.
Ms. Abrams, have you had an opportunity to review Mr. Streeter's probation history?
I have.
And has Mr. Streeter complied with all of his conditions of deferred adjudication?
He has.
Was he placed on probation in May, deferred adjudication, May of 2021 for 6 years?
Yes.
Does the probation department have a recommendation as to whether his deferred adjudication should be terminated?
At this point, they are recommending early termination.
I'll pass the witness.
All right, state.
No questions.
All right. I just have a few if there are no objections.
No, of course not.
Has there been any previous violations?
No, Judge.
All right. Any concerns?
No, Judge. He has no violations, no positive UAs. He's current on all of his fees. He's been cordial on all of his visits with his officer. He reports on time. The officer has no concerns at this time.
All right, thank you. Any further witnesses?
No, ma'am, we rest.
State, any witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
All right, I'd like to call the defendant if there are no objections.
No, ma'am.
Sure. State.
All right, can you raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right, what have you learned from being on probation?
Well, the severity of my actions was resulted in the injury of a close friend of mine. Additionally, it damaged my relationship with members of my family and my community as well. The actions that I undertook were as a result of substance use as well, which was affecting my judgment. And every moment since then, I have taken that into consideration in my day. And my commitment, regardless of my circumstance, is and remains to conduct myself with integrity with regards to my personal choices and to avoid substances and discipline, as well as gratitude.
All right. And what classes were you required to take?
As part of my probationary agreements, I was placed on the UA hotline. And I had completed that, and then I was sent to a drug test. I believe it was monthly. That's the most recent thing I can remember.
All right. Any other questions?
Not from the defense.
From the state, Your Honor.
All right. Probation, and I forgot to ask this, part of his conditions was restitution. Was there any restitution amount that was owed?
The defendant was never informed of any restitution.
Okay.
Please let me know if I missed.
Hey, it happens. All right, so no restitution is owed? All right, if there are no further witnesses from each court, will hear argument. Defense?
Thank you, Judge. The defendant has been on deferred adjudication for a little over 4 years. I'm sorry, almost 4 years. And I think he's been a very responsible probationer in satisfying all of the conditions of his probation.
All right, everyone, if you could please whisper.
I think that he's been a good model probationer. Given his youth and his comments just recently to the court, it appears that he has learned that the behavior he was involved in that led to this offense is not acceptable and can lead to severe consequences. And he has in fact changed his outlook on his personal behavior. Deferred adjudication is designed to have this kind of impact that if someone,
I'm sorry, just one moment. All right, I'm sorry, you may continue.
Thank you, Judge. So deferred adjudication is a process by which a probationer who does act appropriately, have no violations, and completes all their conditions to give them the benefit of early termination. And I believe that Mr. Streeter is a good representative of a person who should be granted an early termination.
All right, state, you are opposed. You may proceed.
Yes, Your Honor, opposed.
Just give me one moment, everyone. Is the 226 not available?
No.
Are they in a bench trial, jury trial?
Bench.
Okay.
They've come to the best.
Oh, look at you. Thank you. Look at you making my day. Telling me to push harder, Rashawn. That's all that's like, push harder. We need you. All right.
It's a girl thing.
Let me just review something very quickly. Any objection to the court reviewing the stipulations?
Absolutely not.
Okay. All right. So state, have you had a chance to contact the complainants in this matter? All right, so this is what I'll do. I mean, he's completed everything and he's been on probation since 2021. And his deferred adjudication was for a total of 6 years. So we're already in 2025. The court will grant the motion, but the motion will not become effective until February 11th. State, will that give you enough time to reach out to the complainants? And are you on any type of GPS?
GPS, like an ankle tracker?
Yes.
No, Your Honor.
All right, so I'll grant your motion on February 11th. And that will give the state time to reach out to the complainants. I will tell you that part of my conditions for you on probation, and this was requested, I think, by the complainant as well, that there was to be no contact with Mr. Foss, but no harmful or injurious contact with Ms. Streeter. So the no contact with Mr. Kloss, you should probably still abide by that. Do you understand?
Absolutely.
All right. Is there anything else?
No, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
May we be excused?
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Who's here on Beltran? And then to the officer, I will get to your file in just a moment.
Gotta love it.
Yeah, I mean, we have no choice. It's sort of like if you're a mom and somebody brings somebody new home that you don't approve of. It's like, if you like it, I love it. All right. On Beltran, who's the prosecutor? Where are we on this case?
Jason is, they've made an offer to us. We had an issue come up regarding a potential new case.
Yes.
My client wants to proceed to trial on this case, knowing that we have not gotten any discovery and it hasn't been indicted or he hasn't been arrested in the case. But my client still wants to move forward and have his trial.
All right. You want a jury trial? All right.
And my understanding, it's the aggravated robbery is the case that, I don't want to speak for them, but I'm assuming that's the case. Jason, he has an abating and he has a possession.
All right. You both need to confer with Ms. Ferguson on a jury trial date and then come back and let me know what the jury trial date is. You'll be brought over dressed for trial in whatever civilian clothing you have. If you wish to be attired in something different, you'll need to do a clothing exchange with your attorney. If there's an issue with the clothing exchange, let the court know.
Never have a problem.
Okay. You know, other people come to me with these major problems.
I sent the email and a letter, big print. And in the email, I tell them when I'm going to be there, what clothes I have to exchange. And sometimes they have it all done and I just have to go over there and exchange. Last time it was 15 minutes.
Oh, awesome.
But, you know, I don't know, maybe it's just, I go on Sundays, maybe that's it. Has
That's a
something
good
to
time
do
to
with
go.
God.
Yes. All right. They'll bring you back at that time. The court will not accept any plea bargain agreements without good cause. If you want to enter a plea and there's not good cause, you have to enter a plea open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Norma, they're gonna, Jason and Miss Gay are gonna confer with you on a jury trial date. Who's here on, Jose Amador? Now, in this case, do you have any witnesses?
No, Judge. He's reset and we're gonna go on his criminal history.
All right, court is calling. All right, everyone, don't whisper behind the court reporter. Court is calling 2024 CR 3037 and 2024 CR 3038. State of Texas versus Jose Amador. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Orlando Costa known for defense.
And are you Jose Amador?
This one.
All right, we're here for sentencing. And 2024 CR 3037, you entered a plea of no contest to count 1 and count 2. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court deferred finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. According to the plea bargain agreement. This plea bargain agreement is off. Let me see. All right, we can go off the record. All right, so you all only went.
There was an issue in regards to one of the counts that they waived and abandoned, and that it was not a.
So I believe you only went on, initially we were going on counts 1 through 4, and then after the court reviewed this, we waived 3 and 4, so usually we're only.
Yes. So on the plea bargain paperwork, if you all could initial, because it's still on there that you are proceeding on counts 1 and 4.
Okay. Can I interrupt really quick? May 6th, the trial date?
I'm sorry, when?
May 6th.
That's Amador? All right.
No, Beltran.
Beltran.
That's Arlene Gay's client.
All right. We're back on the record. So in cause number 2024 CR 3032, according to the plea bargaining agreement, you entered a plea of no contest to counts 1 and count 2. The punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 4 years in the prison. The state is silent on your application for deferred adjudication, and there's a $2,000 fine. And there are cases that are running concurrently and some that are being taken in consideration. And then and cause number 2024 CR 3038, you entered a plea of no contest. The court found there was sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court deferred finding of guilt. And that case is an evading. The other case is an aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. And in the evading case, your plea bargain agreement was for a cap of 4 years. There's a $2,000 fine, no application for community supervision. The state is silent on your application for deferred adjudication. This case is running concurrent with your other case. And also there are cases to be taken in consideration. All right. And in each case, defense, you waived the right for a PSI or TAP evaluation?
Yes, Judge.
All right. And the court requested that there be a criminal history provided for the court if there is a criminal history.
Judge, this is,
All right.
He has no criminal history, Judge.
All right. So state is silent. Defense, is there anything you wish to say? And of course, the most concerning thing is the aggravated assault with a
Yes,
deadly weapon.
Judge. And so in this,
Just 1 second. Excuse me. Can't talk behind the court reporter. We're on the record. If y'all wish to communicate, ask the deputy and the deputy will move you when they have room. All right, defense.
So Judge, at the time, my client was 17 when he was arrested. This is a situation where he was with his mother. Vehicles brought to his home. They were on the way to go get some parts. In the process of driving, police were attempting to pull the vehicle over because they believed it was a stolen vehicle. He was not aware of that. There was 2 other individuals in that car with him. My client attempted to pull over. In the process of doing that, one of the passengers pulled out a gun and he freaked out. And so he then continued to travel on the highway and pulled up into a green belt. He was not driving at a very fast rate of speed. He went through a parking lot. He went through then a intersection very slowly, about 10 miles an hour. And as he did that, he clipped one vehicle with some civilians, and there was a unmarked police officer vehicle that hit him from the front to stop the vehicle. And so in that moment, he freaked out. He's very young. He's 17 years old, and he really didn't know what to do. He was kind of scared that something was going to happen, either that the police were going to shoot at them, or that this individual who he's not related to and was briefly acquainted with was in the vehicle with a gun and may do something. And so he panicked and he at that moment left and had continued driving. And so, because of his lack of criminal history, his age, that he should be given a chance to receive deferred adjudication and show the court that he's able to comply with those conditions and really to try and keep his record from having any felony convictions.
Oh,
Yes. I know I'm silent, but I had reserved the right to speak to any inconsistencies in the past if I may. Just briefly, counsel had stated that, wasn't a long encounter and that he was driving slowly. And the evidence that was stipulated to the officer alleges that he was driving up to 100 miles per hour at one point. And it was a long process, miles that was going on. And so I just wanted to clarify that for the record.
All right. So in the stipulations on page 7, it's of 7, Mr. Amador, it says, Jose Amador was traveling at speeds in excess of 100 miles per hour, weaving in and out of traffic, using the stolen Hyundai as a deadly weapon, crashing into a vehicle and 2 police vehicles. Jose Amador had a 12-year-old juvenile in the rear of the stolen vehicle, endangering her. And they said you used the stolen vehicle as a deadly weapon, trying to flee from the police, endangering, the people who were in the vehicle with you. And then that you did hit another vehicle and a patrol vehicle. So I don't understand. Why are you doing this? Do you wish to explain yourself?
Yes.
You want to raise your right hand? Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God? All right, you can lower your hand, state your name for the record.
Amador.
All right, so we're going to take this one step at a time because that's better for me so I can understand what's going on. So first thing, they're saying that the vehicle was stolen. Were you aware of that?
No, ma'am.
All right, so I'm going to take, let's say you're not aware the vehicle is stolen. It appears that the police had their sirens on. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so they get behind you, they have their sirens on. Did you think they were trying to pull you over?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so they're trying to pull you over. Why didn't you pull over?
Because when I was trying to pull over, the passenger, which is my friend, I thought that was my friend, had threatened me with a gun, so that afraid of me, my life, and to like me being afraid.
Oh, so you're saying you were under duress. I think that's a defense if you're under duress. Am
It
I
is,
wrong?
that's what we pled also know, understand that there's the risk that the jury may not buy into that.
Okay. So here's my other question then. Let's go back early in the day. You're in the vehicle, it's stolen. Did you pay for that vehicle?
No.
Did your mom pay for that vehicle?
No, ma'am.
So nobody paid for that vehicle. Did that vehicle belong to any of the passengers?
No, ma'am.
All right, so yes.
I think an important question would be to ask him how that vehicle came to.
Oh, I mean, you can ask that question, counsel.
So Mr. Amador.
Well, just one second. Let me finish and then you can. So you never paid for that vehicle. And how old were you when this happened?
17.
Right, so you're 17. You're in the vehicle with a 12-year-old juvenile in the back seat. What day of the week was this? Was it a Monday, a Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday?
For sure.
All right, any objection to the court Googling what date this was?
No, Judge.
All right, so it was a Friday, according to Google. All right, and according to Google, that's that date, the only holiday that date was the Feast of the Immaculate Conception and the National Chocolate Brownie Day and National Christmas Tree Day and National Lard Day. So I'm assuming that those are not holidays that are recognized federally or locally where the school is closed. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So then why were you with a 12-year-old who wasn't in school?
I'm not too sure, but she's told me that she didn't have nothing to do with school.
A 12-year-old has nothing to do, isn't that
Yeah,
sixth
I
grade?
guess she dropped down. Not too sure.
All right,
But
so
she
why,
wasn't going to school though?
well, why are you hanging out with a 12-year-old and you were 17 at this time?
Um,
And I'm just saying, usually 17-year-olds don't want to hang out with 12-year-olds. And then the other people were in the car. They say that they were juveniles also. How old were they?
I believe the juveniles were in the civilian vehicle that had been clipped.
That was it? Okay.
Yes, Judge. There were other people in the vehicle, other than the 12-year-old, were, in my understanding, adults.
Well, who else was in the car with you? So you have the 12-year-old who's the backseat passenger. Who else was in the vehicle with you? And I don't need the names, just,
12-year-old and my friend.
okay, the 12-year-old was in the car with you, your mom was in the car with you, and your friend. And where was your mom sitting?
Back.
All right. And how old is your mom approximately during that time?
35, 36.
And just for my interest, is the 12-year-old any way related to you, your mom, or anyone else in that vehicle?
No, ma'am.
So your mom has a 12-year-old who should be in school and she's out joyriding with 12-year-old. All right, so while you are traveling 100 miles per hour and the police are behind you, what is your mom saying? And counsel, I know it's hearsay. I'm just trying to figure out what was going on in the car, if there was some kind of chaos.
She was telling me also to pull over.
Okay.
And I was trying to, but the girl had it. She had
Oh,
a
well,
gun,
did you
so
tell your mom, I can't pull over? The front seat passenger has a gun pulled on me.
She was afraid too. My mom, she couldn't do nothing.
No. You said your mom told you to pull over. So did you tell your mom the front seat passenger has a gun? I can't pull over?
No.
Okay. All right, so you're driving 100 miles per hour. You're not pulling over. So when did this end? What caused this all to end? Was it the crash?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so the crash happens, and what happens to the 12-year-old in the back seat and your mom?
They get arrested.
All right, and what happens to the front passenger?
He gets arrested too.
Okay. All right, you have clarifications?
Yes, so did you know the person was 12 years old?
When I first met her, no.
Okay. And how did you end up driving that vehicle? Who brought that vehicle to you?
The 12-year-old.
Okay. And you thought the 12-year-old, the car belonged to her?
Yeah, it belonged to her parents.
And were y'all joyriding that day, or what was the purpose of driving?
I had to go get parts to fix my car.
Okay. And where were you going to get those parts?
To a junkyard.
That's some clarification in regards to how that.
Oh, I have more clarification. So you're telling me a 12-year-old comes to you driving a vehicle and you have no questions about that as a 17-year-old?
Yes, I mean,
And your mom had no questions. So how do you end up driving the vehicle? Did the 12-year-old just throw you the keys? I don't understand.
I mean, she didn't have no keys there. Yeah, the car was on already by the time she went to my house. I just hopped on it. I thought she had it like a little remote. I thought it was a push and start. So that caused me like thinking that was her parents' car.
But why would you drive if she's coming over to your house?
Cause I saw that she was like, I felt like she was young. Cause
All
when I
right, and
met
was
her-
this a planned meetup? Did she call you and say, hey, I'm coming over?
No, I asked her if I can borrow one of her parents' car. And she said it was fine, so.
All right, this story is getting a little bit off track and it's, well,
Judge,
when I
if I may,
say off track,
I
it's.
believe that the 12-year-old, she's a juvenile, but I think she also has subsequently been arrested for unauthorized use of her vehicle.
Okay. All right, any questions from the state based upon the answers that the court has received?
So Mr. You stated that you didn't know that that vehicle was stolen, correct? But when you began to drive it that day, I mean, you had to have seen that the door handles were broken off, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And so that didn't indicate to you that something was off with that vehicle?
No, I mean, there's some vehicles have broken handles too.
So you think that's just normal?
No,
Okay, and it didn't have keys to operate it, so how was the vehicle started and how were you operating it?
I don't know how she started it.
What was in the ignition when you were operating the motor vehicle?
I'm not too sure.
And so you stated that you were under duress because the juvenile, or that you felt that your life was being threatened because the juvenile had a gun, is that correct? Is that your testimony?
Yes.
Okay, and so. And the evidence I was stipulated to, which is the police report, Sheriff Deputy with the Garrett County Sheriff's Office states that she observed you crash into a marked SAPD patrol car and continue going. So if you were scared for your life, don't you think that that was a good time to, you crashed to maybe notify police that you were scared and that the juvenile had a gun? Right? And so after that, you continued on to crash into the motor vehicle that had the juveniles in it, correct? And then in this police report, it states that after you had already crashed into those two cars, officer heard you accelerate on the gas to get through the SAPD March Patrol Unit and according to order, and that you proceeded straight for the Bear County Sheriff's Office March Patrol Unit, which had the lights flashing, and proceeded to crash into it so hard that the officer's body worn camera fell off. And then you still didn't stop, correct?
Correct.
And you don't think that would have been a good time to maybe notify police that your juvenile had a gun and that you were scared?
Yes.
It would have, right? And then after you get in a crash and you stop, you still don't comply with the police, correct?
Correct.
You take off evading, right?
Yes.
And ultimately, you don't even stop, you have to deploy the
Yep.
taser on
Judge,
you,
at this
correct?
point, I'm gonna have to object that I don't believe the state's remaining silent. This goes outside of the scope of, I believe, what our question was.
All right, with regards to the question about the, you said tasing or something?
Yes.
All right, so that objection will be sustained. I think it's going beyond the facts or beyond the scope of my questioning and the defense's questioning and whether or not he is being dishonest.
I understand, but it was just going to, their assertion about the juvenile, but I understand. Thank you.
All right, counsel, anything else?
No, Judge.
Anything else you wish to say? All right. In each of the cause number, the court is going to deny your application. Defense, you want to speak towards the cap?
Judge, just that he's a young individual, he's never been in trouble before. This is obviously entering a conviction on his record is going to do a great deal of damage just towards his life. And we ask that you consider the minimum in this case.
All right, and cause number 2024 CR 3037. Court will find you guilty in count 1 and count 2. Count 1 and count 2 will run concurrently. The court will sentence you to 3 years in each count. Give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine. Time and money to run concurrent. This will run concurrent with 2024 CR 3038. And state will take in consideration 2024 CR 2939 and 2024 CR 3039. Is there any objection to me changing what is running concurrently? Because there's still count 3 and count 4 listed. All right,
No objection to that.
thank you. I just don't want there to be a mistake. And cause number 2024 CR 3038. The court is finding you guilty. The court will sentence you to 3 years in the prison. Give you credit for any time served. There's a $2,000 fine. Time and money will run concurrent. This will run concurrent with 2024 CR 3037. Taking consideration 2024 CR 2939 and 2024 CR 3039. All right, you have something for me? And we can go off the record. Here's the thing, I understand that there are some issues going on in your life because your mother should never have been in that vehicle with you. Your mother knew that that was a 12-year-old who should have been in school. So I understand that you have a hard life. But this is what you're going to have to do. You're going to have to find in yourself what is right, what is wrong, because it appears that your mom is not that person to instruct you. You understand? So when you get out of prison, do not become one of those people who becomes institutionalized. Do not go to prison and get all these prison tattoos. If something happens and you must get a tattoo, don't get a tattoo on the face. Don't get the teardrops. Don't do any of that. Because when you get out of prison, when people see teardrops and all these other facial tattoos, they know it's prison tattoos, and then they don't want to read the book. They're looking at the cover. So you still can do something with your life. You're young. They have free education at the prison. You can even get a degree at the prison. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you. And when you get out, if you need anything, I'm still here. Come back and I'll help you out, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome.